All right, everybody, welcome to today's training. Today's training is going to cover common issues with funnels, whether you're using lead pages, ClickFunnels, uh, WordPress, Entreport, whatever you're using. These are common issues among all those different funnels that you can have. So one thing is it not looking as professional as you'd like. One simple fix that I personally use a lot is replacing text with images and resizing those images to make them look perfect. I will show you an example of Russell Brunson's funnel. Russell Brunson is a guy who founded ClickFunnels, really good marketer. And this is the example I want to show you. Right down here where it says get your free book. We pay for the book, just cover the shipping. They have a really cool, book here, a bar behind, and the text just looks really cool. So if you don't have like a graphic designer on your team or someone that's just really talented in like Photoshop, don't worry. Or like designing a book that'll look like this. Don't worry, you can hire someone on Fiverr, Elance, or Upwork for relatively inexpensive just to get something like this done. But what he did is instead of putting in text and then a bar under it and then a book to the side, what he actually did is this is all one image. So this whole bar, the book, and the word, that's all one image. What they did is they made a transparent book here. Obviously, the book was designed by someone, like a graphic designer, because you can tell how you can see the spine, and it's open, and it looks really good. But what they did is it's a transparent image, and what they have is a black background down here. So it's a transparent image of the book. Then they have the words up here, and then someone designed it to look really nice like this. But all of this is one image, and then what they did is resized it to make it look like it's aligned and make it look nice and clean. So you can see how that's kind of made, and it looks a lot cleaner. Otherwise, you can just use plain text like he does down here. It works just fine, but if it looks a little bit messy and you want to have a little more professional look to your funnels, this is definitely the way to go, is creating images and then just resizing those images and making them look good on the page. Another thing you can do is change your color patterns. You have to be careful with color patterns you use, especially if you use two different color patterns that don't mix. For example, like red and blue typically don't convert very well on landing pages, but if you do red, blue, and white, and you're targeting something in America, you can do like a patriotic theme, and that makes sense. But you got to be careful with what colors you choose, and there has to be some psychology behind it. We will get in that training, on another day, but there has to be some psychology. Here, what Russell did is he noticed that on Amazon, all the buttons are orange. And people are subconsciously programmed to buy orange buttons because people shop on Amazon all the time. Think about it. When was the last time you ordered something from Amazon? I know I just got my package. Actually, it was from Russell. It was this deal yesterday. So, he programmed the button to be orange. And that's the first thing he programmed. Then he's like, okay, blue looks really good with it, and then a nice clean black background because he has a black background where he's doing a video. So it all just kind of blends well. And he's programmed to look like an expert here because of the background. So another thing you can do is instead of just using colors for backgrounds, is use an actual image. Right here, you're positioned as kind of an expert. He's putting a video on, and you can see people kind of facing him. And he positions himself as an expert. But if we scroll down the page just a little bit, see the background here changed, and now you can see him actually standing in front of an audience. But down here, it's just simple. It's just a white background with blue font. So don't overcomplicate it at times. Red is signifying an emergency or act quick. Signifies that you need to do it fast. A cool video with Tony. But you can see it's just a nice plain color, and everything just looks really nice and really clean, and it comes through simple. And then when you want something to stand out, all you do is bold it in white. So you can see that, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Sometimes white and black, a little bit of red looks really good, and then you can just go on with that. Don't overcomplicate it. The next thing is it can feel cluttered. Now, if it feels a little bit cluttered to you, what you can do is you have to put yourself in your avatar's shoes, your ideal customer's shoes. So if your ideal customer is, let's say, a 25-year-old female or a male, you're going to target them, and the page is going to look completely different than if you're targeting a 45 to 50-year-old female or male. So you have to put yourself in their shoes, and if it still feels cluttered, reach out to a couple of your friends that are your ideal avatars, and just ask them for their feedback on the page or what they would do, and then it's your job to figure out how to do it on the page. The other thing you can do is separate blocks with pictures and testimonials. So if you have a lot of text, what you can do is separate it with pictures and testimonials. This is what Russell did on his. You can see there's some text here. He blew it up a little bit, making it really, really big, but he added photos and a video. You can see photos. It's just breaking up the text, but you can see, cool thing is he keeps the same format with all of his testimonials. There's my buddy Caleb Maddox. So you can see videos, photos, every single testimonial has the same thing. So keep it consistent. Just separate them and make sure it doesn't look too cluttered with just text. This can be very painful. Sometimes the systems won't integrate, and it's really, really hard to get them to integrate. There's new softwares coming out every day, and it's hard for companies like ClickFunnels to stay up to track on all the new gadgets and gizmos that someone comes out with, and integrating with it, and making sure everyone works well with it. So what I did is, if you're having an issue integrating with something, first thing I would do is I Googled ClickFunnels integrations, and I clicked the first link. This is what came up, and it tells me everything that they're integrated with currently. Typically, if they're on this list, they have a guide, either a picture by picture or a item that tells you what to do step by step. So if you want to integrate with, let's say, Entreport, you can just find, a document in ClickFunnels that does that. Or if it's still not working, you can just reach out and say, hey, ClickFunnels in the chat support, and you can just say, hey, ClickFunnels, I'm trying to integrate with Entreport. I'm having a really difficult time. Can you guys integrate it for me? Sometimes they will do it for you. They just need usernames, or they need an API key or something, and they will integrate it for you. But let's just say Webinar Jam isn't on here, on this list, and they've never integrated with Webinar Jam before. You can't find any tutorials on it. Instead of taking a long time trying to find a tutorial on how to do it, sometimes it's just faster to reach out to Webinar Jam and say, hey guys, I'm trying to integrate with ClickFunnels. I noticed there aren't any how-to guides. I was wondering if I could start a three-way chat with ClickFunnels and you guys to get this integrated quickly and effectively, and we can make a document out of it to help other people in the future. And then you send the same exact message to ClickFunnels. Just change the verbiage. Say, hey, I'm trying to integrate with Webinar Jam. I sent them a message asking if we can do a three-way. Is that okay with you? And then sometimes I even play the bad guy and I say, hey, they already said okay. Will you help us out? And then that way it kind of guilts them into doing it a lot faster. So you can definitely do that and just reach out to them and get their support working on it. And the cool thing is then you have a doc at the end of it that teaches other people how to do it too. So then when the next person comes along and they're like, hey, I need to integrate with Webinar Jam, ClickFunnels will have it right there and they can just learn from what you did. So it's a lot faster to solve it that way than any other way that I've learned in the past. Instead of looking for hours and trying to find a doc that teaches you how to do it, then you try to do it, then the doc doesn't work, and the integration doesn't work, and you run ads, and if the funnel's not converting because it's not integrated right, and people can't watch your content, that's the worst. So definitely reach out, test things, just get their support working on it, and you'll have a much faster, happier life. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed today's training. On to the next one.